Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today's video features two superstar singers that I have previously heard with bands like Ayreon, Symphony X, and Nightwish. Russell Allen and Anette Olzon have been collaborating to release another Allen/Olzon album called Army of Dreamers, and this song will be on that album. And to make things even sweeter, I'm going to be chatting with them over tea in a dual interview, which premieres right after this video. So I hope I'll get to see you in that interview as well. Let's get to it. That's a pretty graphic. All right, we're gonna get to voice in just a bit. I want to talk about the intro first. I really love the way we started with this solo piano in here, and then the moment that we get the full sound coming in, it's not just your metal instruments. It's not just electric guitar, heavy drums, but you have the symphony behind you too, which I love it when we get such a broad swath of sound. And there's also a lot of catchy melody in this, which makes it feel more like melodic metal, which I think it's supposed to be more melodic metal. I was wondering if we would keep that solo piano with like a ballad kind of singing first to go. But then when we dove in, I was like, yeah, okay, that's where the metal comes in. Anyhow, back one more time. Notice how immediately the way that they've repeated a lot of the notes and had similar patterns in them, it makes it a little more catchy so that your ears can hook onto it and start humming along. I really love that graphic. Repeat it, make it stickier.
Another night in the city, surrounded by shadows. No one hears, no one sees, even if the whole world should explode. Another night in paradise, a million unknown faces. Never quiet, never still. I dream away, I fade away. I know you're around there.
I really love the way that they're highlighting a bunch of similarities in the voices. Both of them have a beautiful ringiness on the top of their sounds, a certain brightness to the sounds. Anette has a little more forward focus and Russell has a little more open-throatedness behind. So they have in common this sort of forward placement of ringiness here, essentially enhancing similar overtones in how they've focused their sound. The other thing that I think is really lovely, especially having them sing the same melodic notes one right after another, you can hear how they both have a similar way of sustaining the line. They have phrases that feel like this instead of really chopped up. There's a lot of what I would call lyric phrasing to their style of singing. I'm going to go back one more time. Let's go back to this entrance.
Another night in the city.
Also, this key is great for both of their voices. It has some nice full sound, some belting that's happening, and it feels powerful in each of their voices. Really, really nice key for them.
Still, I dream away, I fade away. I know you are out there. Someday I will find you. When I close my eyes, I see you, and then I know you are still there.
I love on Anette's voice on No, you hear a little more of some of the cavern that she's got behind her sound. Her sound is really far focused in the front, but there is kind of similar to Russell. Russell has more open-throated space behind it, but she has a little bit of that too, and you hear a little bit of loft come into the sound on No, and then this very classical sounding vibrato that enters here too. It means that she's got very nice balance in her vocal production when I hear that kind of beautiful, even vibrato. It's almost British. The way that they've both layered the voices and created these really sustained lines in this is very satisfying. I'm going to go back. So essentially, listen to the way the vowels in particular are elongated, and you have just one vowel that's sung for a long time, and you've got different layers of harmony that are all behind it as well. It requires a lot of control to be able to hold that super steady with that much power for extended point of time.
You are still there.
That when you have that thick layering and the sustained sound, it just feels like a cushion of really beautiful ear. It's like ear Nutella that I just want to bask in. I love that fullness of the sound. Love that extra top harmony that she brought in. I love how the solo lines in there had so much cut to continue to break through all of that layering. Really good production. There's that catchy melody.
I will give it one more time. Try to make you understand. I will scream one last time and hope that someone out there will listen.
I love the way that Russell Allen's voice has, it feels like so much masculinity, so much robustness in the sound. But when he goes higher, he keeps that robustness while still gathering the sound so it doesn't splat, essentially. Sometimes when people have that sort of thickness in their natural tone, when they go up, they don't focus as they're going up on the sound, and the sound will kind of start to go up like this, and then it tends to go really wide and lose focus. Often that makes them more inclined towards breaking or cracking as well. This is very, very common for tenors who have really, really thick voices, like maybe more of a held in tenor, that they don't sort of narrow it down in order to very carefully traverse up. Russell Allen is very excellent at gathering the sound there so that it doesn't splat, essentially. I'm going to go back a little bit, just appreciate the focus of his sound.
I will give it one more time. Try to make you understand.
It's really
I will
good.
scream one last time and hope that someone out there will listen. Is there a way to reach you? A way to make you see? I have a story to tell. Only you know how it ends.
You know, when I heard Anette before, I didn't hear the like more gritty off sounds that I'm hearing in this. I'm not sure if that's a new direction for her, if that's a way that she's particularly been going in this album, but I do like it. It brings a little more edge into her sound. She's got the ability to have thinness and focus in the voice that can be more towards a pop sound. But then, like I mentioned earlier, she can go towards a more classical, a very light classical sound, I would say. But hearing some of the way she's using, it's the cut-offs of different notes. She'll make different sounds at the end that make it in particular feel a little more dirty in the sound or gritty, a little more rough. And I like that brings yet another texture to her sound, makes her very capable of doing all kinds of different projects. Let's go back a little bit, listen to those endings.
Someone out there will listen. Is there a way to reach
You, right? And even on is, her intro, she has a is, so she's doing a creak into it, which gives it a little more texture too.
and hope that someone out there will listen. Is there a way to reach you? A way to make you see? I have a story to tell. Only you know how it ends. I know you are out there. Someday I will find you. When I close my eyes, I see you. Then I know you are still there.
On both of them, the word no sounds really, really good. There's something about that vowel and the way it sits in their voices and the tenderness, the sort of innerness that comes with it as well, and the vibrato. I just like how both of them form that word.
When I close my eyes, I see you. Then I know you are still there.
That focus is great.
In the middle of the crowd. No one can see you. A thousand voices whispers. You are all alone.
I love how much attention has been given to these graphics as well. Yes, this is a lyric video because we're seeing the lyrics play as they're singing them, but they clearly have put so much extra production into this with having both the singers filmed singing this, and then all of these transitions, all of these graphics in motion. It's just in the way that the text is appearing in different ways. It's just really well put together. I like it. Nice job on these choices. Like the flashes of light too, and the focus. I like the shift in texture there. What is that? Really interesting shift there. It basically sounded like they started to highlight things that focus on higher frequencies during that shift. Shout out to, I think this is Magnus Karlsson, I believe. I think he's the person playing guitar here. And he's producer of all of the albums with Russell Allen as well. It's really good production. I hear a lot of clarity in different sounds, yet there's a lot of sounds that are happening. When you have that many sounds, it's really easy for it to become like a sonic mush and things just lose that clarity. I think that the voices have been produced extremely well. When you have two different voices, you have to make sure that they have an evenness to them. And I think it's helpful that Russell and Anette seem like they have similar placements going on within their vocal structure. But it's also important to have a certain continuity in those voices within the production method as well. And that often means doing things like switching EQ or a compressor and putting it more heavy or lighter on one voice or the other. There is definitely an art to making these voices blend together within the produced piece, and they really are balanced extremely well. And then you have moments like this where it feels like the EQ or the focus of the frequency, I would say, it just is shifted to be higher ones at this point, and things like the drums, they didn't have as many low boomy sounds. We had a lot more cymbals, which are higher frequency in the crashes. Very cool the way that that shifted there, and awesome production, Magnus. So thank you for that. Not to mention being very, very good. To say the endurance to sing this, I think, would be quite a bit, because even in the quieter moments, it still had a lot of fullness behind the sound. I think it would be very exciting to hear this live and hear how they bring this sort of truck-driven sound to a performance that you can't back off on. You definitely hear it in the way they're singing their vocals here. It doesn't ever feel like something is... Even the tender moments are still powerful. This is a very powerful song overall, very powerful vocals. Let's go back just a little bit more. Every time that's come up where you hear the top harmony enter in there, it makes me smile inside. I like that harmony. Really, really like it. Good choice. Also, I'm really excited to ask them about what they do to care for their voice in recording sessions like this, because it's not normal that you would do this in one take. You normally would have lots and lots of takes, especially with all of these harmonies. You're going to be layering it on and on and on. So that means you have to care for your voice in that recording session. Often that requires careful planning of when you're going to take the higher takes or the lower takes. And I'm really curious what methods both of them have for preserving their voice throughout that. I like the little lip raise. Just a quick little notice on the word alone. At one point, Russell had like a little left lip raise. And then here, Anette has like a little right lip raise. It's like yin and yang of lip raises. Just kind of cool. Ooh. The reverb on that piano is so nice. Feels very epic with the sounds in the background too. Ooh. Ooh, sizzles. Yeah, frontier. They're going to be so much fun to talk with. I want to ask them about the recording process of this, especially because the production is so good. And also it's going to be fascinating to talk to them about the longevity of their careers and how they've shifted at different times. I think that there's going to be just so much insight from both of them. And I can't believe that I get to have that in one interview time all together. It's going to be fantastic. I hope you'll join me over there in that premiere just after this video. You can find that at the link here, and see you soon.